The purpose of gratitude, and I'm reading some stuff that I've written. It is past midnight. It is 12:28 right now. My name is Nandini and I'm going through some major changes. So, I'm going to read from this and then free flow because there's not much on here, but there's a lot more to say. The purpose of gratitude is not to distract you from your reality. Practicing gratitude does something when you feel like all is not well. And what it does is not only does it shift your focus, but it shifts your energy, which is what you can use to start focusing on the problem with that feeling of elation and everything being okay, that everything is good in your life, all right? So that's the purpose I wanted to get to. But then I just got a little too deep into the muckiness of my past. Talking about all is not well, what I've written here and I've had to cross out is now, it's a rare thing for a fit and fine person to have all not be well, right? And I wrote, cross that out, don't use that. I don't know how true that is because what's true for me and what I've written after that here is there really are people who believe life sucks. And I know this because not too long ago, a version of me believed that. Probably believed it my whole life, except for those little moments of relief. When laughing with friends or chomping down on a delicious piece of pizza or having my heart lilt listening to soul riveting music, right? Except for those few moments, I just thought life is seriously not worth it. It's not worth dragging this on any further. So I wrote, aside from those highs, life sucked. And gratitude? It was a practice. I knew I could never lie to myself. So it took me lying down on the couch where my father had died many years after he had died, but I came back to that couch that I had to. I mean, that's where life led me to, back to be curled up in a ball on that couch where my father had died, shaking and long, long past tears. I don't know, maybe I was crying, probably was. I can't even really remember because I was just every bit of me, whether it be material, whether it be immaterial, my entire energy told me, you've got it all wrong, Nandini. I had a realization in the sense that my entire being was awakened to the fact that I didn't know how to get myself out of this hole I was in. After a series of rock bottoms, it dawned on me that I just was digging myself deeper and deeper in. This is where I throw this away. All I knew was how to feel guilty, blame myself, be a little too perfectionist, like this wire, the stuff in the background, my flabby arm. You know, those voices are kind of in me, but they don't have that power anymore. And those were the voices that used to rule everything in my life, especially about me. So there came a time when I was there on that couch and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Not in a way of wanting to quit life, but in the way of I already decided I wouldn't quit life, but how do I make it better? I really don't know how to live well. I don't know. I I'm getting teary-eyed as I'm saying that because I feel like I'm in a totally different place now because I feel like I do have the guide and I do guides and support and coaches and they not only are they showing me the way, but they're actually helping me realize what the way is. But it still takes so much courage. It takes so much courage to just live better. Because living better, it's not normal, you know? Um, so it's I don't know what are the voices in me that are stopping me from it. There are just so many habits And I cling on to those habits because those habits have given me pleasure because life was so painful. When I talk about the habits that have given me pleasure in the past that were just that helped me, that helped mitigate the pain of reality, I'm talking about my insane food addiction, right? Like I never got into any sort of illegal drugs, but sugar, salt, spice, um, that's those were my addictions, and still are. They still are. And as I've been sort of going through some shifts, because May is always a very, very powerful time for me, May and June, some of the biggest emotional breakdowns, which then became breakthroughs, have always come to me um, around this time of the year. And I feel like I'm going through something pretty powerful right now. And when I say right now, I mean in the last couple of weeks. And I'm just gonna flow with it, in terms of what I'm saying here. It's all just coming from within me. I haven't thought any of this out. As I said, it's past midnight. I was supposed to be in bed. I just wanted to do some journaling, and then suddenly gratitude sort of came to mind. But am I ready? Am I ready to shift, to change and be better? I think that's not a question I should ask and then answer and say, yes, I'm ready, or yes, I'm not. No, I'm not ready. No, I think that's a decision. So I have to decide that, yes, I am ready. And even if I'm not ready, I'm going to decide to start living well. Life is changed, not, I mean, it is changed through circumstances. It certainly is changed when things shift on the outside. Sure, absolutely. If your house breaks down, that's going to cause a shift. If you lose someone you love dearly, that's going to cause a shift. But we certainly don't have to wait for those moments when the time is right to shift. It or even when the time is not right to shift. We can make decisions to shift, to change. Yes. Gratitude. I'm going to circle back to gratitude, okay? I'm just so grateful for every little thing in my life. I am so grateful for everything. There are things that I criticize more than thank, but I can be more mindful about those things in order to release them, such as the hold that potato chips have on me. I can thank them and I can release them. I can try to, employ pause to really feel my body and to release the attachment my hand and my mouth has to constantly feeding my tongue that flavor, to soothe me. I have committed to the next 21 days of mindset training. So, what is my intention? It's very important to have an intention. Let's say today's day one, because I did a bit of it. So if today's the day one, because it is, and in 21 days I'm going to go through this, here are things I want to do less of. I want to distract myself less. I want to move my body more. I want to do things in silence, especially cleaning and cooking, because the silence has been giving me answers that are much better and much deeper than when I'm trying to grasp for them in the little moments where I'm intentionally, just like, oh, but what would be the solution? What would be the solution? As opposed to like the answer actually just coming from within because there's been some silence and some reflection. Um, those are the things I want to do. What would I like as a result, right? It's so important to set an intention. Hmm. Intention, intention. I barely wrote anything. Where's the intention for? Oh, yes. So, in 3 weeks, I would like clarity and my conscious business streamlined. Clarity. Clarity. Clarity, I feel like clarity is not clear enough an intention. I want clarity, but what do I want to be clear on, right? Um, I want to use the next uh I've been doing a lot of new things. I did my first live no, yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Night before last night. Yeah, two nights ago, I did my very first live. Just did it. Wasn't planning to do it. I was just like, let's figure this out. I did a lot of new things, actually. A whole lot of new things. And I was just like, oh, where's this how is this happening? I mean, I'm that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, I don't even plan it. Because if I had planned it, I would have overthought it and maybe not done it. Um, so I think, yeah, flowing, allowing things to go, practicing gratitude, coming back to gratitude, coming back to gratitude, because I just want to say to anyone out there listening who feels like life is too painful, or if even especially, no, I'm not going to say this to those people. I'm going to say this to the people, including myself. If there's something that you are stuck on, if there's an obstacle that you're finding very, very challenging, overcoming it, that the overcoming's too tough. It's too like, I can't do it. I can't do it, right? The practice of gratitude and ease is a thing that we can do in order to embody a state of deserving. Because don't we deserve what's on the other side of that obstacle? And the only way around it is through it. The reason why I'm bringing gratitude to obstacles, okay, is let's say that there's a person that you're constantly clashing with. It's so hard to feel grateful for that person, or to feel grateful for those clashes, or to figure out how do we resolve this and move past it, right? But people might think that, oh, when you're practicing gratitude, it's a way to sort of, placate yourself and is that how you pronounce that word? I don't know. No, and just shift your focus from the problem to all the good things in your life. Gratitude is not there to distract you. Gratitude helped me by just feeling so good, right? Be feeling just so much better by focusing on all the great things in life, that when I then started to look at the thing that was causing me problems, or the person that was causing me problems, I started to become a little more aware of where in my body the tension was held as I even thought about them. I started to realize, oh my God, my heart is totally not just closed, but it's blocked up and it's jammed for this person. I can't wish them well at this point. And remember, choice. We can choose to let that ease, right? We can choose to let that interaction be easy. Let that position be easy. Take it day by day, moment by moment, and have hope. One of my current coaches, when I say current, one of my coaches for the next 21 days, I've, I'm, not their regular client just for the next 21 days. They talked about aligning with our authentic voices and trying to be able to live and create from a space of honesty. And he especially used the word vulnerability, right? Being able to be vulnerable. And what struck me when he used that word was the choice, right? Not when one can choose to be vulnerable, that is the greatest sign of strength. Not when one is vulnerable naturally, no. But when you can choose to be authentic and vulnerable, you're choosing it because you're showing up and you're saying, you can't touch me with this. Here it is. I lay open, bare, here with you, in front of you. What can you do to me? What can you do to me? Nothing. What could anyone do when I have chosen to lay myself like this? So, power. Power is also a practice. Gratitude is a practice. And when people say the obstacle is the way, I honestly can't agree with that more. If we want our lives to improve, we've got to select the things that we find difficult and try to make those things easy for us. I say try. That's such a weak word. That's such a feeble word. No, we need to work on it. And I use the word need. That's a kind of a garbage word as well. We don't need to do anything. You don't need to work on your fears. But wouldn't life just be so much easier and better if there were fewer things to fear? Not because those things went away, but because our fear went away, right? If we like, there are just as much as there are an infinite number of things we could have a desire for, there are an infinite number of things out there that we could also fear. Ask any person who has ever suffered from anxiety how they can turn something beautiful and have the fear of that beautiful thing not actually being beautiful or not being perceived as beautiful by another or losing its beauty. People can fear anything. And it's not because things out there are possessing the nature of creating fear in you. No, it's because you have the ability to be fearful of the things around you, of everything around you. And that fear creates an expectation of, oh, what if it fails? What if it's never successful? What if nobody sees it? What if everyone sees it and criticizes me? What if it doesn't turn out perfectly? What if it turns out so well? What if it's so good that everyone starts having these amazing expectations of me and then I fall flat and I just can't ever do it again? Right? What are these things? They're of no substance. There's no substance to them. I think I should end this here. I feel better now. I've just released whatever it was I needed to release. And I just wanted to say that the whole story of me being curled up in a ball on the very old velvet sofa where my dad sat and died many years after his death. But not many years before I'm saying this to you. Hardly, just over 2 years, actually. I had a point, but it sort of slipped away. I'm gonna try to remember it. I just got, enveloped in the emotion of that moment. Yes. The point was it took a moment like that, but which was not a isolated moment. It was through a gradual, heavy decline, and then that was like the peak bottom, the peak of the bottom, the bottommost part of the pit at that point in my life, right? There was another bottomless pit I'd reached the year afterwards as well. But anyway, in that particular devastating moment, I had to get to that point to even try to practice gratitude. It took that embodiment of knowledge that I didn't know how to take care of myself for all of my pride to disappear completely. And I just knew that I couldn't do it. I couldn't just keep living with the same mindset I had. There was something that was telling me. I remember it was somewhere here. There was a good. I wouldn't say it was not a voice. It was not something I heard, but it echoed inside my brain. It echoed. It was a knowing. And it said to me, "Your mind is your home. And it's such a bad place to live because you are ruining it, Nandini. It's your choice. You have to make your mind the kind of place you would want to live. That's what that voice told me. And the moment I heard it, I told myself, that's it. My imagination runs in the radio frequency of just delivering me the most anxiety inducing messages. My whole brain's programming, all of my creativity goes into how things can go wrong. But now I'm going to choose to use that to ask myself, what is good in my life right now? How can I just feel good as I am in this moment with the circumstances around me, with all that I possess, with all that I can call my own right now, with all that I am witnessing right now? What in all of that can I feel blessed about? If you've watched this, thank you very much. I love you. My name is Nandini, and changes are taking place. Currently, this channel is called Figuring It Out Alive, but I may actually change the name of it. Let's see. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.